Hello everybody, welcome back to Rosie TV, and today I have a new series debuting where we will be trying to assemble the best possible five-a-side team for every major footballing nation. But first I have to go over some rules. Now every single player will be priced differently and there will be a 200 million total budget. You can only pick one player for each position, which is one goalkeeper, one defender, one defensive / central midfielder, one attacking midfielder, and finally one forward. Today we're going to be going through these players and I'm going to be picking my personal team, but please put your personal teams in the comment section below. This was a lot of fun to make, so I really hope you guys enjoy it, and if there's any improvements or any suggestions you guys have for this series, please put it in the comment section below. Now for this first episode, we're going to be picking from a large pool of Argentinian players. Argentina are a two-time World Cup winning nation, and they're just such a vast amount of legends we can pick from here. Now before we start with the goalkeepers, I'd like to tell everyone that the legend himself, Alfredo Di Stefano, will not be included in this list because of the fact that he played for 3 different nations back when there was no specific rule on playing for more than one country. He played for Argentina, he played for Spain, and he played for Colombia, but we're gonna pretend like he is just Spanish because of the fact that he has the most appearances for the Spanish national team. So look for him in the Spain video, but he will not be in this specific pool of players. So let's start off with the goalkeepers. Our highest priced goalkeeper, Ubaldo Filol, won the World Cup in 1978, and it's actually highly debated between him and Amadeo Carrizo, who's the best Argentinian goalkeeper. But from the extensive research I did for this, it looks like the verdict is that Filol is the better goalie, but it's definitely close. We have Sergio Goycochea, who was actually the understudy for the next player, Nery Pompido, in the 1990 World Cup, and he actually got a chance to play in that World Cup when Nery Pompido went down injured. But unlike Pompido, he did not win the World Cup. Nery Pompido actually was a part of that 1986 World Cup team. And finally, we have Carlos Roa, who is most known for his floppy hair in that 1998 World Cup. I don't know what he was thinking. He looked like a straight mushroom. And although he might not have the best hairstyle choice, he was still a very solid goalie. He could definitely be the bargain option here, only priced at 10 million. Next, we're moving on to our defenders, and our best defender, who is going for 60 million, is Daniel Passarella. He is the only Argentinian player on this list that has won 2 World Cups, and not only is he considered the best Argentinian defender of all time, he's also considered one of the best defenders of all time. Next, we have Javier Zanetti, the right back for Inter. He played for 17 years for Argentina, getting 143 caps. And also, what's amazing about this player is this guy just doesn't age. I mean, look at him in 1995, and now look at him in 2017. Barely any difference. Next, we have Oscar Ruggeri, who played in the 1986 World Cups, and he won that alongside Daniel Passarella. And he also has 2 Copa America wins as well. Next, we have Roberto Ayala, who didn't have much success with the national team, but he did get to play for that 98 team, which was really solid. But in his club career, he did get 2 La Liga titles with Valencia. Next, we have Walter Samuel, who, similar to Roberto Ayala, didn't have much success on the international stage, but he was still a great defender for Argentina, and he's most known for being a part of that Inter side that won 5 Serie A titles in a row, alongside Javier Zanetti, of course. So those are some solid defenders to pick from, but now let's look at our defensive / central midfielders. The highest priced player, Diego Simeone. This guy coaches exactly how he plays. He was a real ankle biter in midfield, and similar to his Atletico team now, no one wanted to play against him. And then priced at 50 million is Esteban Cambiaso, who surprisingly is actually still playing his trade now at Olympiacos in Greece. Let's not forget, he also had a little stint at Leicester that season under Nigel Pearson where they narrowly avoided relegation. But he left that summer and Leicester went on to win the Premier League, so unlucky for him. That would have been really cool though to see him win the Premier League with Leicester. Next at 40 million is Juan Sebastian Veron, who's actually still playing at the age of 42. He's playing at Estudiantes, but he's most known for his stints at Parma and Lazio, winning a few trophies there. But he also won the Premier League at Manchester United, although he didn't have the greatest time over there. Next is another player who's also currently playing, Javier Mascherano, such an underrated player. He plays center back for Barcelona, but he's most known for his midfield play for Argentina. And finally, priced at 20 million, Fernando Redondo. He has one Copa America for Argentina, so at least he's won something with them, but he's most known for his club career where he has 3 Champions League titles, 2 of them with Real Madrid, and 1 of them with Milan in 2003. But from these midfield options, we can see here that most of them are defensive midfielders. The only one who really isn't a defensive midfielder is Juan Varane, who is more a central midfielder. And next we go on to the attacking midfielders, and already from the get-go we see Diego Armando Maradona, one of the best players of all time. He's obviously most known for that 1986 World Cup win, and we all remember those 2 goals against England, that hand of God goal followed up by that goal of the century from midfield. But he is at a hefty price, 70 million. But next to him is Jorge Burruchaga, who is priced at 60 million, and he was actually his right-hand man in the 1986 World Cup. Maradona gets a lot of credit for that 1986 World Cup win for Argentina, but Burruchaga played a key role as well. Next at 50 million is the skill master himself, Juan Roman Riquelme. There are not many that possess the pure technique of Riquelme. This guy with the ball at his feet was just so smooth. He'd definitely be a great addition to this team if we can fit him in. Next at 40 million, we have Pablo Aimar, who actually played with Roberto Ayala in that Valencia team that won 2 La Liga titles. And finally, we have Ariel Ortega at 30 million. He was a River Plate legend and played for Argentina for 17 whole years, but unfortunately, he didn't win any major trophies, which is a real shame. And finally, let's end off on the forwards, and we all see a familiar face starting off at 70 million, none other than Lionel Messi. I mean, you guys all know the quality that Messi possesses, already one of the best players of all time, but unfortunately he does not have any silverware with Argentina, despite making 3 different finals with them. Next, priced at 60 million, is Gabriel Batistuta, or better known as Batigol himself. Batigol has 2 Copa Americas with Argentina. He's a real legend with Fiorentina as well. But then he moved on to Roma, where he won a Serie A title, and he was actually in the team with Francesco Totti. But Batistuta had a real eye for goal, and he was just a real predator in the box. Next, priced at 50 million, is the World Cup winner himself, Mario Kempes. He won the World Cup in 1978, Argentina's first World Cup that was, and he played a huge role in that win, scoring a brace in the finals versus the Netherlands. And next we have, priced at 40 million, Jose Manuel Moreno, who is one of the older players we have on this list, so there's not much we know about him, but he did play in the 40s to the early 60s. Moreno has 2 Copa America title wins with Argentina, but unfortunately for him, he did not get to play in the World Cup in the 40s because of World War II, so he probably would have even more international trophies if it wasn't for the war. And finally, we finish off with another older player who played mostly in the 60s, Omar Sivori. Juventus fans will definitely know him. He's a legend for the club, and he actually also has 9 caps for Italy as well. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Those are all the players we have to pick from. Now it's time to assemble the team. So right off the bat, I don't know if you guys are thinking the same exact thing that I am, but we should pair up the dream duo themselves. It would be a huge, hefty fee, but we're going to go ahead and do it. I'm saying Maradona and Messi are my first 2 picks for this team. Priced 70 million each, leaves us with only 60 million for the last 3 players. Our budget took a real hit, but I think it's worth it. The fact that we have 2 of the best players ever. All right, so let's see here. We have 60 million left with 3 players remaining. So let's look at some of the cheaper players for each position. Looking in goal, I'm thinking we should go ahead and take the bargain option, Carlos Roa, only 10 million. Maybe he's not the best goalkeeper on this list, but for 10 million, I think he can do a job. So we're going to go ahead and take Carlos Roa, which now leaves us with 50 million for the last 2 players. Then looking in defensive midfield, I'm thinking we take Javier Mascherano. I mean, he's played with Messi, so you got that chemistry in there as well. That leaves us with 20 million, and looking at these defenders, our only option is Walter Samuel, who will be a welcome addition to the team. So overall, our team is Carlos Roa in goal, Walter Samuel in defense. In defensive midfield, we have Javier Mascherano, and then we have Messi and Maradona. I mean, these guys will have so much freedom because of their defensive foundation behind them with Mascherano and Walter Samuel. Those are my selections for the Argentinian 5-a-side team. Tell me your selections in the comment section below. Was it a foolish idea to take both Messi and Maradona? Is one just enough on their own? Please tell me if you enjoyed this type of video and if you want to see more. Please like, share, and subscribe, and thank you for watching Rosie TV.